Okay guys, so this upcoming week is going to be Mother's Day week. So we're gonna have parents on the mat, moms and dads. We're gonna start and have an A day and a B day. So the first 2 days of the week, we'll have a certain curriculum, and then we'll shift that for the second 2 days of the week so they're not repeating the same things. So for our warm up, we're gonna just get started right away with a wrist grab defense. So when we do this, we're gonna make sure that our partner, the mother or the parent, grabs the wrist. Doesn't really matter how. What we want to make sure here is that the thumb is not coming to the shoulder, but rather the elbow is coming towards their face here. Now, when we do this, first step is going to be base. So we want to make sure they're creating a nice wide base. And then step two will ultimately bring the elbow towards them. If they grab both hands, I make a fist inside there, reach in that cookie jar. And again, I'm pushing my elbow forward. So it's physics and not strength here. If they happen to grab upside down and like pulling me away, same base, and then I go to elbow up. If it doesn't come undone, because we want to create little quick memory tools for them, then we're going to just rip back down towards that thumb opening, okay? All right, so for the next part, we're going to have them sitting back to back, drawing. One is going to be explaining the example. The other is going to be trying to draw using just auditory learning. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about the three types of learners: the auditory, the visual, and the kinesthetic learners. So the first day, whether that's your first 2 days of the week, we're doing just the auditory learning. So we're going to be sitting back to back, and then one will be explaining, the other will be doing the drawing. So when we're doing these communication drills, like the auditory communication, we're sitting back to back, explaining this drawing. We're doing this to make sure that the other person that's listening to it is getting the same message as the person that is trying to give the message. Now, what they'll find is, no matter their drawing skill level, is that whether or not they did a good job explaining the move. And we use this as an example to explain to the parents, sometimes we've told them 1,000 times and it's not them that needs the lesson, it's us. And so we need to change our way of communicating. The next step we do is the front choke, okay, or the Bart Simpson choke. So we have two hands on. My partner or the kiddo here will raise their hand straight up and use their armpit slime or their armpit sweat to come off of that position. What they're not doing is chopping at my arm or trying to use some sort of movement like this. It's not gonna really work. So we have them raise their hand, pretend like they're high-fiving somebody, and break that free grip. And then they're gonna finish with the I don't wanna fight, hands up.
On that one, let's make sure that we don't turn our back all the way to our training partner. So I don't want to turn this way where my back is exposed. We want to turn and have our hands up in front of our partner.
Okay, so for our next move we're going to be doing, we're going to be practicing our breakfall. So the whole room will practice their breakfalls together. Because it's parents who have maybe never practiced or trained before, we're going to start down low, do a very nice and easy hands to the side breakfall, making sure their chin is tucked, their head never touches the floor, and do this a few times. And then you can start leveling up to their tiptoes. If you want to do it from here, do the same kind of thing, standing, squat, roll, and slap. Okay, the idea of this game then is going to be with their partner. Let's pretend I'm the kiddo here. The parent shoves the kid does their good break fall, and then crazy leg. So we're gonna have crazy legs. They're gonna be kicking and following wherever they go to keep them off. The top person is trying to touch the back of my head to imply that he could hit me if I were not to use my legs. So we wanna make sure our feet stay in between. When they give us enough distance, we're gonna practice our technical stand-up. So I have my knee up, my knee down, my shield here, okay? Other hand for post, lift up, shin if I need to, stand up, and again, I don't wanna fight. So for the next section of this, we're gonna do the same kind of thing when they push us down, okay? Feet are up, but I'm gonna bring my knees and feet close so that they're tempted to come close to me. The first drill here we're gonna use especially for everybody is grabbing both heels, pushing. The parents will get a chance to practice their technical stand-up or their break falls. And then I'm gonna stand up here, okay? When we stand up, we like to do our technical stand-up with, if we can get a hold of one foot, keep that so that we can get up faster than they can get up. For the older kids, when they push the older kids down, we practice this move, we keep our legs close, but we're gonna have them bladed. So one foot's in front and I can only reach 1 foot, okay? So that foot will go to the hip. The other foot will then hook behind. So we do the tripod sweep. If you have a grip, great, this acts as an elevator to lift me up. If not a huge deal for this. We're just gonna push, make sure both feet are trapped. And again, same concept where I keep this up. I want my head to go backward, not forward, on top.
So next we're going to practice our bump and roll. Parents are going to be in the bottom position, and we want the kiddos to be able to teach their parents this move. Almost all of them have already trained bump and roll before. For the kiddos, they're going to have the hands on the chest. Okay, we're going to have 3 different grips. We're going to grab across for the wrist, up for the elbow, and we're going to trap the foot. We bridge our partner up, and then we roll to the same side that we have trapped. So we end up in top position. Next, we're going to do rolling. So we're going to high five, bump fist. The kiddos get to roll with their parents. Make sure that we explain the rules and tapping and how to win.
And now to finish out the day, the first day A, we call it, for Mother's Day week is gratitude. So we have them kind of just have a 1 or 2 minute conversation with each other and thank their other person, their kid, their mom, their dad, whoever they're with, and vice versa, taking a moment for gratitude, thanking them for something that is important to them. All right, so for the second 2 days of Mother's Day week, day B, you would call it, we're gonna do the same, similar kind of warm up just to kind of get our body moving again. So we'll start with that same crazy leg, technical stand-up positioning to kind of get them going.
For day B, we're also gonna look at our learning styles, but this time we're gonna focus on the visual and kinesthetic learning styles. The way this one is gonna work is 2 coaches will be at the front of the room demonstrating a random position. The parent and kid have to get into that position as quick as possible without using any words. So only by moving each other around and watching the coaches demonstrate. You can run through a couple positions at a time and make it faster or slower depending on the skill level of the group.
Okay, so next we worked on our bottom position when the person has their hands out wide and we can't do the bump and roll.
So in this case, instead of having the hands on the chest, maybe the person on top has the hands on the floor, which makes it hard to collapse an arm for bump and roll. So instead, we're going to do our shrimp technique. We're going to have 2 hands on 1 hip, both on the same pocket. Our goal is to bump, turn to our side, and slide our legs out of the tunnel. We bump, legs come out, and now we can bring our legs back in front of our partner again. If the person on top is still pressuring forward from this position, we can do the get up from guard. So as they're coming forward, we push their face, same technical stand up as from before. This time, we're gonna pretend that the good guy's on top and the person on bottom doesn't know how to escape this position. They're usually gonna try to roll over and do a push up to get out, which gives us their back. So we're gonna practice. As our partner rolls, we move our leg out of the way, we let them get up, and we're gonna put our hooks in, which are our feet, our seatbelt on, and our snuggle head, so our head comes close. Okay, from here, the parents are gonna go crazy, the kiddos hang on for about 10 seconds, and then we can restart. For our older students, we're gonna practice rear naked choke from this position, or mate leão, which is gonna be our choke from the back mount. We're gonna take our overhook arm, the one that's on top, and we go elbow deep with our elbow lined up with our chin. Our underhook arm comes out, and we're gonna grab that same bicep, the muscle. Now we're hiding the back of our hand behind our partner's head, this way. And now we hide our hand with our head, squeeze our elbows down and in, and we get our submission there. Let's make sure that the kiddos are squeezing down and in instead of up to make sure we don't hurt our partner's neck. If they're doing rear naked choke with their parents and they're significantly shorter than their parents, you can have them start on their knees behind their parent and then do the choke from there in the exact same way. Often when we're teaching this technique, we like to practice it on their own leg as if this was somebody's neck so that they can get the feel before they do it with their partner.
All right, so the last exercise we do for this day is the plank or a wall sit. We use the plank. So what we're gonna do here is essentially sit face to face, looking at each other, going through this kind of plank movement. The idea here is we're gonna make sure that we're talking to ourselves in the correct way. So once they do, say, a minute of this, you can have them do it again a second time for a little bit longer, or what we use is just to make sure that we communicate what their brain is telling them while they're going through this exercise, looking at their loved one, making sure that they're being tough, I should be tough. These are the kind of conversations we can have after that we do this example. All right, and to close out the day, to close out the week for Mother's Day week, we have a couple of other appreciation things. We close out with an I am statement, a you are statement, and maybe some other piece of gratitude if you'd like. Or you can come up with something, I am these 2 or 3 things, you are these 2 or 3 things, and we want to make sure these are positive words that we're sharing with each other. And then finish out the day, have each other give a big hug, and kind of create those memories here with each other.
Before we close out for day B, we're also going to do some rolling like we did for day A. Again, make sure we emphasize rules and safety.